5 years ago, I built a kitchen island and it completely changed my life. Not because it was perfect or cost effective, but because it convinced over 1 million people that they could build something too. So today, I'm building it again. But this time I have 5 more years of experience, so that means there's nothing that I can screw up. It's all lies. If I'm honest, I've always wondered, is there a way that I can make it just a little bit better with a little bit more experience? It's still cost effective, still beginner friendly, but this one is honestly so much better. Let's get into it. Back then, I wasn't really sure that I was even starting a YouTube channel. I just wanted to show people what it was that I was building because there was an island that I couldn't afford and I wanted to save thousands of dollars. So like most of my projects, I decided to figure it out myself. Somehow, that simple project ended up becoming one of the most watched videos I've ever made. So when I found this old dresser for $80, I couldn't help but wonder, what would happen if I built that island again today? Only instead of using stocked cabinets, I'm going to use this beautiful wooden dresser. I'm trying to keep the top of this, that way I can match the drawer fronts. I had one hell of a time getting that top off, but it was really important that I saved this. I wanted to make sure that I had some pieces that I could rip down to use for trim once I completed the entire build. I kept the top of the island. I thought I would mill this up and use it as the trim. I think this is oak. We'll see how it goes. I just wanted to do this because I'm not actually sanding down the front of the island either. It's pretty worn down. I'm fairly confident that I can just stain right over top of it. And then once I do that and I have this on the back, I'm hoping that the maple plywood blends in really well. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. What? Okay, so I think I'm yelling at you. I don't know how they get it so thin. Like that's less than a 30-second. You know what? I should have looked at the back of it. How the hell did they get wood that thin? So I'm not going to be using the tabletop, and that makes me really worried for the front of the island as well. If I have to replace all of the cabinet drawers in the island, then I should have just built the island from scratch. Lies. It's all lies. So just like I thought, there's so much press board. Okay, so I changed the plans, took me a little bit to process. I'm not going to be staining it now. I have to come up with a completely new idea, but I think I know what's going to work. I really should have checked, but honestly, I still would have bought the dresser and I still would have built the island. I just would have not had the fact that I was gonna stain it, in my brain. So we're just gonna switch gears a little bit. Not what I planned for, but before I do that, I have to continue with the build itself and getting the structure in place. And that way I can stand back, take a look at it, and figure out what I'm actually going to do. I had some pretty gross tear out on my blade, but I'm okay with it only because I'm going to be adding a trim down at the bottom anyway. Come here. Come here. So now here's my issue. If I cut the island off here, when you're standing back here, it's not perfectly symmetrical. It's further into the fridge unit. My brain is just seeing that the focal point in the center of the kitchen is going to be this arch. There's going to be a table right here, and I don't want this pass-through to be too small. So yeah, I'm just talking out loud. I am gonna cut this off. Basically, I struggled with the fact that the island was not sitting exactly center. Because I have the fridge unit, it feels like the island should be longer, but I can't bring it more to the left because I'm going to have the table unit there. So as long as it's center with the stove to an extent, I don't know. When I get that table put in there, I'm going to do a whole nook and built in above that. It's going to be glorious. But right now, it's just feeling like the right side is really heavy and then the left side is not. Does that make sense? Normally when I build a kitchen, it feels very balanced, and this is not feeling balanced. So whenever you're doing like a side panel like this, you gotta remember, this is the finish. So I'm gonna stain and clear coat it to match this. So you don't wanna have screw heads going in. We just don't wanna have many. I'm not putting any, I'm making sure. Anyway, you get it. You get it. This one doesn't matter because this is actually going to be covered in concrete. So or whatever countertop you use. I'm using concrete. I'm gonna bring it right to the lip because the concrete is what's gonna hang over it. Just be mindful of where you're screwing your island together, because if you're painting it, you can putty it and paint it over. You're gonna be able to hide them, no problem. But you don't want 5 or 6 screw heads if you're going to be staining your finished island. One of the most exciting parts about this island is I'm actually going to be pouring my own DIY concrete countertop, which is something that I have never done before, like never. So that's a little bit intimidating, but I'm pretty pumped to do it. I put a full sheet of plywood, even though it's beautiful plywood, down underneath it, is for the simple fact that the dishwasher is a 24-inch span overlay, and then I have a 12-inch overlay where the stools are going to go. I am going to put a few pieces of rebar, like solid rebar, in the form to make sure that that carries that over, but this allowed me to have like, I mean, it's not totally screwed down, but this is way more solid now than if I was to just use cement board. I can't imagine doing all this work for it to eventually crack or have a weak spot, that we could have some hairline fractures or whatever happens to concrete. I'm just going above and beyond. It's so funny because one of the #1 things in my last island video, everybody asked this one question. Literally, out of thousands of comments, over half of them requested this. The question that I got asked the most was actually, how did I secure the island to the floor? Don't mind this. This is actually where the dishwasher is going to be going, but I haven't ordered it just yet. Not quite ready to pull the plug on that price tag, but this is where it will go eventually. And I just used, oh, where am I? L brackets. This stain is not done very well. It's the inside where the dishwasher is going, and the only reason why it's even done is so that it's dark when you look into the 1/4 inch. Anyway, L brackets. Simple, very easy. And on any dresser or any island that you have, there will be several places that you're able to hide them, and no one will ever know they're there, and it's not going anywhere. Once I got everything secured to the floor with the L brackets, top secret information, I formed up and poured the concrete countertop. I'm not going to get into details in this video because I made a specific one that I will link below that gives you every single detail, step by step, of how I did it, and then another video of how I polished it to make it so good, you guys. I got a quote for real stone, and it was over $10,000 for the whole kitchen. That is why I chose concrete. I also have always loved the look of concrete countertops, and these turned out amazing. Okay, so I thought that I was going to stain this and it was going to be beautiful, but it was oak plywood and not maple plywood. The difference between the maple plywood that I used on the fridge unit is that maple doesn't really have a grain to it. So it's stained very smooth and you couldn't really see anything except the color. It just stained terrible. It looked like standard plywood. It looked like zebra print all the way through. It was atrocious. So not only was the island MDF, and now I can't stain it, now I have to figure out what the heck to do with this, because this just looks like the cabin special. You know, the cabin's like a hunting cabin in the woods somewhere, and everything's plywood and pine. It's just not the vibe of this kitchen. Sure, if I'm camping, but I'm not camping every day. I don't like the color. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like the color. I don't like the way the wood stained. It just looks like a standard piece of plywood, and I wanted it to be more like that up there. I hate it. I hate the zebra lines. So I'm gonna have to keep going with the dark, and then I'm gonna get a gel stain to go over top and essentially create like a faux wood grain with a really rough brush like I did for the garage door. It's not ideal, but then I can control the look of the wood. Does that make sense? So I am gonna continue building it in this color, even though I don't like it. I'm gonna continue staining it so that it all has the same base. Then I'm gonna go and pick out a gel stain, and then we'll make it beautiful. It just looks terrible. The front of it is MDF, and now I have the cabin special as the plywood. So I'm just going to paint everything and make it look like wood. I've done this before for a garage door, and I made a white garage door look as if it was wood. You paint it in a full base color, and then you use a gel stain on top of it. Worst case is I can paint it dark, right? That's the worst case. That's just me trying to convince myself, because at this point I'm wondering how I'm actually going to even make this island look nice. It had been years since I've used this technique, but as soon as I started to put the gel stain on, I was reminded of how cool this actually is. I hate it less than the stain. for sure. I'm just worried that this is such a large span that it might look weird because the garage door was like, had a bunch of different insets. So you could see like I made the fake miters. You want to make sure that you use the crappiest brush that you can find at the hardware store, or one that's old and hard and doesn't actually put paint on smooth. Listen, you can hear it in this. I love when I can do it on drawers or like the garage door, because it had sections where you can really take the time to get it to look like wood grain. The back of the island was hard because it's one large spot, so you have to work continuously and pretty fast. This is like, you know, I can perfect this drawer and then walk away. See how that green is really coming out? Because this is already textured, I love the fact that this wood, fake wood, press wood, even though it deceived me, is textured. Because it really looks now like wood grain. Once it's all on, you just want to make sure that all of your lines are smooth, because if you have this, see how you can essentially make your wood grain look however you want it to? So you just want to smooth everything out. And it's like the reason why I said you want it to be sticky is basically it comes off, a little bit comes off on your brush. And I like to leave this for like 5-10 minutes and then come back to it, because then you can remove even more, and you just layer it, keep going. And you're not wood will now look like wood. So basically you could do this with IKEA furniture, you could do it with MDF, you could do it with anything in your home. You could do it with your doors. Ooh, I might do it with my doors. And now it looks like wood. Oh my goodness. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. The fact that the concrete countertop worked out the way it did for the first time that I've ever poured it, 11 out of 10. And the cost was even better. It was 6 bags of concrete at $30 each. It's like $150. That's Canadian, but I mean, that would be even less in American. $80 wood dresser turned out to be MDF, but I actually love the way that it finished. $150 in concrete, about $100 in miscellaneous, and $100 worth of plywood. So I'm coming in at around $500 Canadian, and I think the other one was the same, because although I bought the 2 cabinets pre-built, they're a little bit more expensive than if you find something on Marketplace. And Marketplace always has ugly dressers that don't take much to transform into something beautiful. Now, the next video I'm really excited about. It's gonna be the stone arch range that you see behind me here. That is the entire inspiration for this whole renovation. I will link that video right here, and if it's not done just yet, I'll link something just as cool. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.